Hey guys, what's going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video on this lovely Sunday. Just wanted to come on and talk about an article from Rich Cimini where he shares the 3 most likely choices for the New York Jets in round 1. Now, I'm sure you can guess who 2 of the 3 are, and don't worry, we won't spend much time on the 2 obvious ones because we've talked about it. I can't even count how many hours at this point we've talked about those players. But here is Rich Cimini's findings. Now, this is based on conversations with league sources on what the New York Jets are expected to do in round 1. The 3 most likely picks for the New York Jets: Armand Membou, Tyler Warren, and Will Campbell. As discussed, we've talked about Membou and Warren for what feels like an eternity at this point. If you don't know the case for either one of those players by now, I don't know how to help you. Go back and watch one of the 50 other videos I've done on these guys since January. You can make the case for either one of them. I would be happy if Membou or Warren are the pick. You get into the debate of what's more important. Is filling the right tackle more important? Is filling the tight end more important? Whatever your stance is on that is fine. I'm not going to argue with you. You have legitimate cases on both sides of the aisle to draft both of those guys. But Will Campbell is an interesting one for me, and if you'll allow me to explain, I'll share why I don't know if he's the perfect fit for the New York Jets. So he played left tackle for 3 years at LSU, and he allowed just 4 sacks over those 3 seasons. He was effective as both a pass blocker and a run blocker in the SEC, which is important, and many consider him to be one of the best offensive linemen in this draft. There's just one problem in my eyes, based on 2 major factors in evaluating offensive linemen, by the way: arm length and wingspan. He would be a significant outlier at offensive tackle. So his arm length is just 14th percentile for tackles, and his wingspan is literally 1 percentile. He would be, I can't stress enough, how much of an outlier he would be if he were to work out at the position. I'm not saying it's impossible. As we've seen in the NFL and the NFL draft, there are no guarantees. There's no guarantees in the NFL. There's no guarantees in life. I'm not saying that there's a 0% chance that Will Campbell's a tackle. That's not fair to him. That's, not fair to any evaluation. But what I think is absolutely fair is to point out that based on some of the key metrics in his body type, he projects more as a guard at the next level. Why arm length and wingspan is so important is because if you're playing tackle, you're going to struggle against the quicker guys who get off the line fast and are going, wide 9 around the outside on the offensive line. It's going to be very, very hard for him to keep up, and he would be susceptible to speed rushers at the next level, in my opinion. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible. That's not fair to Will Campbell to say that it's impossible. But what is fair is to bring it up and talk about why it might be an issue for some teams. I would be shocked if there were no teams going, you know what, I think he's a guard. I don't think he's a tackle at the next level. You're likely to get mixed opinions on this guy, which is fine. Team to team is going to be very different, but I would actually make the case that New England is a better fit for Will Campbell, because if there is an issue with him playing tackle at this level, they can play him at guard. They have issues all across their offensive line. It's not like they're going into the draft and going, all right, we got to find only a tackle. We feel good about guard. You don't need to necessarily, take a position. Take someone who's position specific. There we go. You could take someone who's a little bit more flexible, and wherever he works out the best, we'll play him, essentially. Jets don't have that same luxury. And what I mean by that is they've took a very hard stance on playing Elijah Vera Tucker at right guard this year. That's what, Darren Muji said this offseason. It would be a surprise if they went against that and then changed and play him at tackle. But I get it that Elijah Vera Tucker's on the last year of his deal. You could say the same thing with John Simpson and go, well, you might lose one or both of those guys in free agency, and then you could just play Campbell at guard then, Matt. Well, you would still have an issue at right tackle, I would think, this year. And I think Membou is a better fit for the Jets specifically because he's played right tackle in college, has the better measurables for a tackle versus a guard. And he wouldn't be switching like Will Campbell would be from the left side to the right side, and there's not those same questions with the arm length. So while I get it if you're saying, well, Campbell's the better overall prospect and you just play him wherever he fits on the line. If the Jets are dead set on playing Elijah Vera Tucker at guard, then I don't know how you are fitting him in on the line, because I personally don't know if he's a tackle at the next level. Membou, I don't have those questions with. I am fairly certain Armand Membou can come in and be a solid tackle starter at day one. So once again, Membou and Warren, to me, I think are the two most likely. The third guy on this list is Will Campbell, but I want to hear from you guys. Would you feel comfortable with the Jets taking Will Campbell 7th overall in whatever scenario? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.